Mr. Alvarez has gone and said that we can go to the lobby, then I have to tell them that I'm going to the 3rd floor. He's going to ask his CEO for permission to record a little bit of the studio. He can't promise that it's going to be granted. It's impossible to make any kind of interview to any employer. Okay, that's fair enough, because I don't know what story I'm going to tell. So be there in the next hour and let me know if you need help or anything. So it looks like we are getting in the TV studio. Whether we're able to do anything when we get there, we're going to find out. Awesome. I told you Manuel would do it. The guy's a legend. Oh my word. Right, well they've got quite a long queue for the taxis at the moment. I really need to get there in an hour. I guess we're just going to have to wait for a taxi. That's a little bit unfortunate. That's what happens when you're waiting for Manuel to do his magic. Definitely worth the wait. I guess I'll get in the queue then. That was actually very quick. The queue wasn't long at all. I've got my fixed fare, 60,000. Caliente, muy caliente.
Viene.
So, Mr. Vasquez is on the Christmas list this year. It looks like I've managed to talk my way at least into the TV studios, at the very least. I still don't know if we're going to be able to do any actual filming there, and we certainly can't go and interview anybody for reasons which I think are actually fair enough. They don't know what I'm saying. Back in the Corca Valley. I didn't think I was going to be here this quickly. So look, here's the thing guys, right? I was a little bit miffed by what I said at the time was a bit of a job's worth security guard. To be fair, he was doing his job. He quite rightly took my knife off me as I tried to get on the plane. Fair enough, I'll give him that. If he hadn't taken my knife away and I hadn't had to come and get it back, there is no way in a Brazilian years that I would have got to Cali, and there's no way that I would have managed to get inside the TV studios and get this video. This is such an adventure. There we go, we've got some more security guys there. Fingers crossed. We're gonna get to go and film the location within the TV studio that's allegedly haunted, where a number of security guards have seen doors opening and closing after hours when there's nobody else in the building. I was going to try and do what we did yesterday in Tequendama, where we go around and find out if any Colombians have scary stories, because every single Colombian is supposed to have a story about the supernatural or their encounters with it. And we got a good hit rate yesterday. Normal members of the public, 3 out of 3, and a lady working within Tequendama, the Salto Hotel of Elite. She wasn't biting. They are trying to distance themselves within the hotel of anything to do with the supernatural, suicides, murder, death and all of that kind of stuff. Now of course, if I had to go and order breakfast at Telepacifico TV studios, I'll be speaking Spanish like a boss. Huevos revueltos y tocino, por favor, y jugo de naranja. Of course, there isn't much cause for saying I'd like scrambled eggs with bacon and an orange juice in a TV studio. And I'm kind of limited in what I can say other than I don't speak much Spanish. Manuel's just said, most probably you're not going to find anybody that speaks English, so I'll write you a message for you to say in the lobby. Lovely. Buenos días, me dirijo al tercer piso a la oficina de Álvaro Ayala. Starting to see the first signs of Cali. Cali is of course famous for salsa. You get salsa all over Colombia, but Cali has really taken it to its heart. And I did promise my good friend Natalia Aguilera Lopez, who is Manuel's cousin. She actually sorted out Manuel so that he'd do some translating for me, which is awesome. I did promise her that I'd take some salsa class or a salsa lesson or whatever in Cali, and that's what I was going to do today if we didn't get inside the TV studio. So I'm really, really grateful that it looks like we're getting inside the studio, because I can't dance and I'm not very happy for you guys to see me trying. There's me being an idiot on camera, fair enough. There's me dancing on camera, that's an entirely different thing. Cali straight ahead, return to Palmyra, round the corner, round the bend. Just on the outskirts of Cali now. Judging by the timing, it's about 9:30 now. I guess we're going to be there in the next 5 or 10 minutes. It's not going to take me long to get in the studio to see Mr. Álvaro Ayala Vasquez. I have to try and remember that. it can't take more than 10 minutes to go and walk down a corridor, like 3 times. Then I've got to get a cab back, get a ticket. I'm going to try and be there by about 11:30, 12, because the next flight is going to be at 1:16, I think. So I'm going to have to be there for midday at the latest. So, yeah, wish me luck. Seems kind of busy, Cali. Things are happening. I've been warned that there are some political issues around here. It's a slightly dangerous place sometimes. I think where I'm going, TV studio and back, is probably quite safe. Okay, I've got another thumbs up from my lovely cab driver. I've got basically what looks like a small essay to try and pronounce perfectly in Spanish that basically says, thank you for seeing me on short notice. It's my last day in Colombia, so I've taken a chance and got a flight from Bogota this morning so I could come and see the haunted TV studios of Cali. My Spanish is really basic unless I'm ordering breakfast, so I apologize for this. And I would like to go and film the corridor that's allegedly haunted, where the doors open and close by themselves at night when the studio is empty. And that's it. But that's a whole lot of Spanish when you don't actually speak the language or know the words. The traffic in Cali is so much better than the traffic in Bogota. I've just seen a sign for Cali 5, road number 5. No backing out now, guys. I've got to get in there and make it happen. Uh-oh. This is Telepacifico TV studios. See if we can do some filming. We're definitely getting ourselves into the 3rd floor. I have no idea what's going to happen after that. In lovely sunny Cali. There's a massive queue outside. I've got a feeling they're queuing up for something else. I hope they're not all queuing for TV. Otherwise I'll be here all day. Wow, lovely bunch of Cali people. Now, I think I need to go to the reception. We have Ingreso Telepacifico up here. Reception. This is absolutely smack bang in the centre of the city. It's a massive, massive apartment and industrial block. I don't know how much you can see here at the moment. Oh, we have a big Telepacifico thing over there. I'm guessing that's where the reception is. Buenos días. Telepacifico recepción.
Sube aquí la grada.
Ajá.
Al fondo hay otra grada que te sube al tercer piso.
Okay, entiendo. Muchas gracias. We have some of their industrial hardware. Big old satellites beaming out TV all over the Cali region. Another lovely day in Colombia. My goodness, it's hot. I'll be sweating like a little piggy when I get up there. Buenos días. Recepción Telepacífica?
Sí, señor.
Perfecto. I'm here for Alvaro Ayala Vasquez. Buenos días. And for my last day, I tried to get into the haunted TV studios of Telepacifico.
Excuse me?
Pardon.
Caballero, ¿me puedo ayudar?
Sí, sí. Muchas gracias. And I can leave here? Everyone's seriously face masked up here. I guess on a TV studio you have to be very careful. If you get an outbreak of COVID or something here, that can ruin the entire operation. Right, so it seems at the moment Alvaro is going to ask permission on my behalf from the CEO. Aha. So, muchas gracias.
Good news, bad news. I can't film while the TV studio is operational. There are legal and insurance issues apparently, and the CEO won't budge, which is fair enough really. With that said, filming ends at 6 PM and they said that I may be able to get in there if I wait. Unfortunately, that's a complete no-go for me, as it means waiting around for another 8 hours, and there's no way on God's green earth I'm missing out on a trip to the Caribbean to Cienaga to check out the Devil's House. They can't all be winners, guys, so on this one, I'm going to have to admit defeat. Missing out on the Devil's House to film an empty TV studio corridor is just not happening. But a big thanks to everyone at Telepacifico for trying to make this happen.
So that's a little bit disappointing, but we did wangle our way into the TV studios on an absolute moment's notice. And I still think that's pretty cool in itself. Mr. Vasquez was very cool, very nice and very helpful, very positive. But he's got a boss, and the boss says, we have certain legal obligations. Who knows what kind of trouble there could justifiably ensue. And I do understand the legal situation. Realistically, he probably only agreed to see me because I said I'd come all the way from Bogota, especially to come here. That was a little bit of a fib. So I'd call that an almost win. So we got the knife, We made it into Telepacifico. We didn't quite get to see the corridor that's got the ghost, but we are literally 10 meters away right now. Just through that wall on the other side is the corridor where security guards, late at night, on the cameras, saw the doors opening and closing. Now, nobody seems to know why. There doesn't seem to be any history of people who've died here. There doesn't seem to be any suicides, any murders that we're aware of. But obviously, this location has been here an awful long time, and the TV studios and the buildings here are kind of recent. So it is a little bit tricky to say what could be causing those phenomenon. Maybe they've just got funny hinges. And the biggest part of the day, the one that I'm most looking forward to, is something that nobody can keep me away from. The Devil's House in Cienaga. It's an abandoned building, and I'm going to tell you the story about what makes this the home of the devil himself, and about the man who owned the house and sold his soul. So, Alvaro Ayala Vasquez was extremely helpful. He explained the situation that you simply can't go and film inside when the TV station is running and filming. He's the coordinator for the entire building. It's quite a big cheese up there. So I'm extremely grateful that he spent the time and effort to show me around. We didn't quite get to film on the inside, but we were within 10 meters, just over there. On a wing and a prayer, I've turned up at their studios and managed to get through the front door, talk to one of the big wigs, find out a little bit more about the place, and for that, I shall be eternally grateful. And we are standing literally now 10 meters away from the haunted corridors, which we didn't get to look at. Nonetheless, they remain a mysterious phenomenon, and who knows, one day we'll see some footage over the internet or something like that. Kind of spooky down here. This is about as close as we're going to get to the haunted corridors of the Telepacifico TV studios. They're basically within about 10 meters of where we're standing at the moment. Unfortunately, it's on the inside. So, not a complete failure, not a complete success. And now we're going to try and make it to Barranquilla, get to the Devil's House in Cienaga, and finally back to Bogota at the end of the day, which is going to be the end of my Monday from hell. But I'm not disappointed at all. We made it here. Keeping it real in Cali. Cali actually seems like a very cool place. And now we're going to try and do the big high point of the day. It's been awesome to get a little taste of Cali. There's our TV studios, haunted just beyond those doors. Those are the corridors. Corridors where the doors open and close by themselves, allegedly, as witnessed by a number of security peoples. Pretty cool building. The guys were very nice in there, and I wish them all the best in future. Now, the real part of the adventure. We're going to get to Barranquilla on the Caribbean Ocean. Or is it a sea? Sea or an ocean? I think it's a sea. We're going to get ourselves to the Caribbean in Barranquilla. We're going to get ourselves a taxi all the way over to Cienaga. And in Cienaga, we're going to see what we can do with the Devil's House. I'm going to tell you the story about the man who built the house, came from rags to riches almost overnight, became one of the most influential, powerful and rich people in the entire region, and allegedly he sold his soul to the devil. It's been an awesome start to the morning. I appeared to have my second wind. Wow, they even have some awesome art here in Cali. Not that I'd expect anything less, of course. Would I have come back here to try and pull this stunt off if I hadn't lost my knife at the airport? Absolutely not, so all of this is a bonus. But what I was doing regardless is getting off to Barranquilla and then Cienaga, and now the Devil's House awaits. And this is the home of salsa. Now I know I said if I couldn't get in the TV studios I was going to do a salsa class instead to make up for it. I think I did get inside. You didn't see as much as I did. You did see quite a bit. So that's a little unfortunate for you, but also it's pretty fortunate for me that I don't have to do any dancing, because I'm not good. One thing's for certain, we are going to make it to Barranquilla today, and then we're going to make it to Cienaga, and we're definitely going to get into the Devil's House. I say into. I know I can get on the outside. I know it's abandoned. If it's not too much effort, I'm going to try and break in and get some footage directly from the inside and tell you the stories about all the horrible things that happened there. Wow, I'm glad we're leaving rather than going into Cali at the moment. I said I thought the traffic around here was better than Bogota. I think maybe we just got a bit lucky earlier on. There we go, goodbye Cali. Now on our way back to the airport. I think I'm going to have an hour to go and sort out a ticket before we get ourselves off to Barranquilla. And that'll definitely be my last time in the Valle de Cauca for at least a year. And I'm definitely coming back. I've had such a good time here. Such a lovely place, such brilliant people. I know everybody says that. You don't hear everybody saying, oh my God, I went to this lovely country and everybody was a cunt. Nonetheless, everybody has been genuinely great in Colombia, really helpful, really gone the extra mile. 10 out of 10 for Colombia yet again. I'll be back. This could be our last toll booth in Colombia. As always, jam-packed filled with the best Colombian women. I've heard actually in North Korea, one of the best jobs a woman can get is actually working at the service stations. Maybe it's similar here, I don't know. Maybe girls at school aspire to be working in toll booths. The stinky roads of Colombia. Bye-bye Yumbo, I'm gonna miss you. Palmira, Buga, Rosso. Oh crap, it's a really hot day here. I just remembered I've left all of my suntan lotion back in my hotel room. So there's a very good chance I'm gonna be burnt to a crisp by the end of the day. So here we are, back at the aeropuerto. I hope they've got some tickets left on the next flight, otherwise my hopes of getting into the Devil's House today are gonna be virtually non-existent. With that said, I can't imagine too many people middle of the day on Monday in Cali who are trying to get off to Barranquilla. Everybody wants to be there, is probably going to be there on an early morning flight, I'm hoping. We'll see how it all works out. Nonetheless, we've got now to make it all happen. And I've got to give 10 out of 10 to our fantastic taxi driver who's got me from the airport to the studio, waited for me, got me back to the airport. Perfecto. Great taxi driver. I promised I wouldn't put him on the video, but I'm going to anyway. Just a little bit because he was so nice. This time to Cienaga. Going to see if we can get ourselves into the Devil's House.